Hi Joe and Jared and everyone at the Vineyard Wine Bar. Chester Osborn here, 4th generation winemaker at Darrenburg, and thanks for having our amazing sites on there. This map behind me shows you McLaren Vale. You've got the sea on this side, the mountains on this side over here, and these are 4 districts of McLaren Vale. We actually now have 12 single vineyard Shiraz and 3 single vineyard Grenaches from 2010, but you'll be tasting the 2009s where we only had 3 Shiraz and 2 Grenaches as a little experiment to see how it went along, which went really well. But the first 2 Shiraz you'll be looking at are actually from right over here. The fruit bat is from this vineyard here, and Little Venice is from this vineyard here. So they're actually right alongside each other. And this geology here is largely limestone geology. They're about 8 kilometres from the sea, so a bit of diurnal variation because not too close to the sea. And then the most inland part of where the limestone is, which usually means a bit more fragrance in them and fragrant length and nice acidity. The altitude here is about 120, 130 metres. The fruit bat has actually got sand on top of it, on top of the limestone, so it's a little bit more elegance. And the Little Venice has actually red-brown earth over the limestone, so you can see a difference there. The red-brown earth having more clay content gives more character, more structure and personality. And then the other one you've got is the 8 iron, which is right down here. It's actually not on this map because we didn't do it 2010 from there. There's a blowout with the irrigation there. And the big main where we flooded the vineyard. But this is a vineyard down here, planted in, I think, 69. And it's the shape of an 8 iron. And it's an 8 iron hit from one corner to the other. There's a grey earth on limestone. So they're all actually the same geology, Blanche Point Formation, 34 to 56 million years old. Which is a beautiful age because it's not too young or too old. The young geologies have a very strong earthy character when you wind them back without fertiliser, and the old geologies like these up here that are over 500 million years old, they actually end up with not much crop and a very tannic character and don't get the minerality that you can get from this medium-aged geology. The Grenaches that we're going to be trying are actually from back up in this part, Blewett Springs, and they're right up the back there, and they're from 56 million year old also, but from 200 metres altitude. But you're talking about 14 kilometres from the sea, so more diurnal variation there. Quite a bit later ripening, a couple of months later. Well, this is one of the Grenaches, I should say, the Blewett Springs one. Try this one first. The deep sand gives a beautiful elegance, a very bright, spicy, very fine style of Grenache that is very persistent, very much like Burgundy. The other Grenache comes from 2 vineyards here. Beautiful View is the name of this district here, and it comes from a vineyard right here and a vineyard here. This is 100 years old and about 80 years old, and they're both grown on limestone with red earth on top of one and grey earth on top of the other. And this one you get more earthiness and chunkier sort of characters and silage and quite a strong expression. So if we wander over here, this is the map here, the back of the map that we just had a look at with all the single vineyard Shiraz. But you can see the 3 Grenaches. We've got the 2 you've got here, Beautiful View, and the Blewett Springs here. This is the pictures, and this is what's on the label, as you can see. And there's actually a critter, myself, a little pixie depicted here that is representing the fact that I've chosen these 8 or 9 barrels to the best barrels of these vineyards to go in to make these wines, and the same with the Shiraz, and the picture of the vineyard to really give you the personal picture of the vineyard. And then you can see the soils here. The Blewett Springs here, the sand on clay. This is actually fairly shallow, only a foot deep roughly, but often it's up to 20 metres deep, but often it's about 2 or 3 metres deep. And then 2 examples here actually of grey or brown earths on limestone, and the limestone sort of got a bit of clay mixed up because when they drilled it, it ended up clay spread with it. But they're actually deeper. Sometimes they're only 6 inches deep on limestone. And then you can see all these through here are single vineyard wines, and we'll just move across over to the fruit bat and Little Venice. And the fruit bat's called the fruit bat because you can see this shed here, and there's actually bats inside the shed, and this is the vineyard here. It's an old shootering shed, 100 years old, and that's why it's called the fruit bat. And you can see there's a little, on the 2010, the little character Pixie is hanging upside down like a fruit bat on there. And then you've got Little Venice, which is called Little Venice because there's a spring-fed dam in the back. And also, when we bought this property, I was in Venice, so I thought, well, that makes sense. We'll call it Little Venice. And here's a little credit with an oar in the 2010 version. So look, enjoy these wines. They have a lot of personality of the site. You'll really see the differences. Particularly that 8 iron has a really beautifully mineral character coming through quite strongly in it, which is always a characteristic of that vineyard. And but you'll see differences in them all. So enjoy and come and join me here sometime. We'll have a bigger drink here. Cheers.